Okay, so this beach can kill you. It's got a very strong current. It's Azur Maiko in Kobe. Take a look at this yellowtail getting blasted by the current that's going from left to right on the screen. Those are Suzuki in there. So just watch its body. It just gets cranked the minute it makes that turn and gets hit by it broadside. So this is the same area. Basically, this is one of the openings into the beach area, and a very strong current comes in one of the openings, and it tears through, goes down like a river along the side of the beach, and empties out further down through another opening. That is Akashi Bridge in the background, world's longest suspension bridge. There's a jellyfish getting blasted through. And this is what the current will do to my body. So I'm swimming down, just going straight down, and at this point I have stopped kicking, and I'm being blasted backwards. Fins first through the water. I'm only kicking to stabilize myself so I don't, well, hopefully don't go upside down like this. This was fun, by the way. And by the time I come up, I'm basically halfway to shore, and I have to fight the current to get back to it. A few hundred meters to the east of this place, there's the opening there where it shoots through out to the sea, so that's very dangerous. And here is my favorite channel. Lots of pearl-spotted Chromis, I think that's what they're called, pearl spot Chromis. This is a filefish, or a, what's the name for a black scraper, yes. In the background you can see Tai, Seabream, and the shadows in the left of Japanese sea bass in the distance. The medium-sized fish are gure. Those are, geez, what are those things called? Largescale Blackfish, that's it. So I love this passage so much, I try to go through here as many times as I can. Down here is a very rare fish I rarely ever see. It's a Japanese whiting, or it's also known as Sillago. And I actually missed a Kobu Dai, Asian Sheepshead Wrasse, right at the very bottom of the screen back there. There's some Japanese sea bass, the big guys, silver colored ones, and the gure, the large-scale blackfish, and a lot of those pearl spot Chromis again, the damselfish, a type of damselfish. Third time. You can see them go hide, and these are the places they hide in the cracks in the tetrapods. Once again, the Suzuki are hanging out on the left upper side. It's probably that same filefish, the one right before that, on the first one. Oh, there goes Tom right below me. And earlier in the dive, we came upon these traps, and poor octopus trapped inside there. I don't even know if these traps are legal or not. I just feel so sorry for the creatures that get caught in them. I just hope they don't suffer too much in there. I tried to actually shake one out, but He was more afraid of me than of getting out of there. So it's just heartbreaking to see him looking up at me with his yellow eyeball. Just knowing what his fate was going to be. This is under the seaweed. Lots of bait fish, and actually I can say that it turned into a bait ball right over here, yes. Another huge jellyfish, but I finally found out that the filefish actually like eating these guys. And it was verified in a, an article on the internet. Suzuki, Japanese sea bass, and a lot of damselfish, and mebaru, they're kind of rockfish. They're mixed up in there. They're the kind of darker colored ones, looking more beefy. And if there's any bigger ones, it's probably the large-scale blackfish. And these tiny guys, I'm guessing that they might be baby mebaru, the Japanese rockfish, but at the same time, I saw a picture of Yellowtail, Japanese Amberjack, and they looked very much like them as babies, but this water is pretty gross. We are doing urban diving, very close to a major city, about 1,500,000 people in Kobe. That is a young kandai, or kobu dai, an Asian sheepshead wrasse. That's what they look like when they're younger. They can actually, they have both male and female sex organs, so they can switch sex. Filefish, more bait fish, possibly anchovies, I have no idea. Ton of them though, and really beautiful the way they sparkle in the sun. This was a school of Suzuki that I just happened to cross paths with. They're very curious guys. They often will come back for a second look, and you'll see that happening right about here. Not too many colors here like Okinawa, but once in a while you'll get really bright things like this. I have no idea what it is. It's bright blue. I'm assuming it looks kind of crunchy if I were to touch it, but I think when I did touch it, it was flexible. And just funky other blobular stuff. Oh, here is a sea slug in the current. So the current is ripping from the top of the screen. And here are the eggs. Tom taught me about this. These are the sea slug eggs. I thought they were just spaghetti and I was going to fry it up. Anyway, more of the blue stuff, but this time growing on top of oyster. And we're expecting the eagle rays to start stripping these oysters off the walls soon. More damselfish, and there's a gure, large-scale blackfish. Those are the mebaru, the darker ones at the top. Damselfish and mebaru mixed together. Rockfish. Okay. You can see the seaweed starting to get old and dying. It was quite healthy springtime. Big mebaru down there. I mean, not mebaru, gure. Large-scale blackfish. This is actually at the opening to the where the channel is. The one where I go between the tetrapods and the seawall. And here is a very rare one that I rarely see. It's a mottled spinefoot. Freaky looking dude. They actually have poisonous spines, I believe, both in their dorsal and their pectoral fins. There's Tom, and here is the Akashi Bridge. world's longest suspension bridge. I think I mentioned that before. And I've lately been coming upon a lot of old fish getting close to dying. They just sort of huddle into a spot. Normally a Thai, a black Seabream like this would spot me right away, but you can sort of see its eye is kind of dead looking on one side. Turns around and then it figures out what I am. And actually I've had them jet off so many times I didn't even stop to capture that. A whole bunch of gure, large-scale blackfish with the pearl spot chromis. Just enjoying all that stuff, that food. You can see it, just all those dots in the water, white dots. That's just something they're eating. You can just see them just pucker up and just suck those pieces of food down. This is a wrasse. It's a multicolorfin rainbowfish. If you know the story, the Rainbowfish by Mark Pfister, you might enjoy looking at those. So this is the gure. They're just battling the current. Large-scale blackfish battling the current, probably eating whatever comes floating by. And there seems to be a lot of it in the water. I'm going to be actually going into this current and using it to propel myself. So I'm headed against the current right now, but the rock wall is blocking my path. These are those baby fish, still trying to figure out what kind of babies they are. And once I reach here, I'm going straight down and catching the current. And normally these fish are quite faster than me, but with the current behind me and kicking at the same time, I'm surprisingly fast. There's a Japanese sea bass trying to get away from me. There's no water resistance against my large, unstreamlined body, but it's a lot of fun. It feels like you're flying very fast. And I'm working from one side of the opening to the other side. And time for a breath. See you later, Azur Maiko Beach.